morning, welcome along to Dumfries Icebowl for the quarter-finals of the Scottish Junior Mixed Doubles Championship for 2018. My name is David Owen, and joining me for commentary this morning, Kenny Murray. Good morning, Kenny.
Morning, David. Nice to be back in our usual seats after a couple of days where we've had some excellent commentating from David Ramsey and Owen McCrossan.
Yeah, you and Kyle doing a bit Ross White yesterday as well, and yeah, it's. I think we might be unemployed shortly. That's what we've been aiming for about 4 years. So
some budding young commentators in the making. Ross might think otherwise, mind you. He would probably rather be on the ice.
I suspect that may be the case. Yeah, that's probably fair.
So the game we're covering this morning is Ewan Kyle and Naomi Brown against Ross White and Sophie Jackson. I understand that might be a repeat of last year's final.
Yes, seemingly so. That's what I was told this morning anyway.
When Ross and Sophie come out on top. So just the early stages in the first end. Kyle and Brown playing yellow stones and White and Jackson playing the blue stones.
Hopefully we've got that right anyway. Do you know, I was in here about, well, I was first in, so I'll say 7, but maybe it wasn't quite as early. We were all very well under control, and it's just ended up a last minute rush as always. But we'll get there. I'm going to try a few new things in the webcast today. So that could go wrong.
Look forward to that, David.
At the end of the game, we're going to try and do some interviews down on the ice. So hopefully we've got that covered, but we'll find that out. We actually need another body to help us do that. So we'll see how that goes. Excellent first spot from Kenny.
Just had a quick look there, David, and looking out the window, it didn't look like the right colour of stones that were lying in the house, that which alerted me to the fact that we were on the wrong sheet.
I'm confident we're on the right one now, though.
Yes, that looks like the right players now. As we've said, early days in the first end. A couple of stones lying in and around the button. Coming down from Ewan Kyle. It's just going to tickle the guard. Looks as if there's a good draw out there this morning. Blue stone there for Ross White, going right on top of the button.
As ever in mixed doubles, control of the 4 foot, the key. Top of the 4 foot at that as well. Yellow's still hanging in there though, not difficult to move. Sorry, not easy to move that yellow, so.
Well, quite well guarded on the other side.
for anybody still new to mixed doubles, we'll maybe just recap the rules at the change of ends. You and Kyle's quite pleased with that one.
Yes, his previous shot hit the guard, but that one's right in on top of the 4 foot. A lot of stones there on the 4 foot, David. We've got a full view.
Yeah, there is. If they move to the side, we'll see them. So we'll see them in a minute. It's the nice thing about mixed doubles; they tend to vacate
where the stones are coming into.
Okay, I'm going to ask the schoolboy question here. I think there's still 2 stones to come. Assuming we've got that right, which is always a bit. Yeah, Ross is away to play, so I assume that is right. You've got 3 really nicely lined up. Yeah, why don't you just move the guards as Sophie moves out to give ice to move the guards?
and the will have last stone. So
exactly.
Last stone.
Yeah.
I think this indicates they might not possibly have the line shot.
I would think they are. I think it's just how you're going to score a 2 out of that. I just don't think there's any way to score a 2 out of that at the moment. So
it's just doing a clearing up job at the front.
Yeah, he's giving them options. It's not easy to score a 2 even if you move the guards that side. It's pretty good.
Possibly he's also set up a raise if the guard.
Yeah, yellows are lined up there, aren't they?
I think this is the last stone for the Brown-Kyle combination.
Yep, I think it is, Kenny. Yep. I think anywhere on the centre line is pretty good, even right up to the yellow.
She might actually, if she touches the yellow, she can lie 3 shots.
It's a bit wide at the moment. I don't think this is going to make any difference, really.
Shot here then.
I'm genuinely not sure there is one. It's just whether they can get that top yellow moving. Smash it. The camera flattens the angle a little bit, so it may be a little bit steeper than the cameras.
An inch on a couple inches of the front yellow.
Let me just see if we can get a slightly better angle on this for everybody at home.
Yellow definitely shot. Fear is here, if you get it on the inside, you could give away 2.
That yellow's not going far, is it?
No.
From that top-down angle, it's not going to move very far, I don't think.
I'm going to find out shortly when Sophie Stones went up the ice and she's playing a bit away.
Tried to get the blue moving sideways. One blue it is indeed. Even Kyle coming down the ice looks to be struggling a bit. He must have been up watching the curling last night.
Well, it was an all-night. The first game didn't finish about midnight. Scotland game against Canada come on about 2:30.
2:30 it was, yeah. I have to admit I was a wee bit late up for it. I was up at about 3:15 in time to see the 4th, 5th ends.
Didn't even manage that, David. I just decided to get up this morning and look for the final score.
Sensible. Very sensible. Yeah, disappointing result. But maybe the Scottish boys just a wee bit unfortunate having beaten Canada and coming in with such a good record. Don't get a second bite to get into the final under the new system.
Yes, aye. And you've two quarter-finals, and then the lowest ranked team plays the top ranked team, which meant Sweden got Korea, Scotland unfortunately got Canada.
Yeah, so having beaten them in the round robin, and we're two wins better off than Canada.
Yeah.
They both have the same chance of getting to the final. Canada had to play an extra game, of course, but against lower ranked teams, and yeah, just one of these things. But
it's possibly a combination that there was three teams that stood out from everybody else: Sweden, Scotland, and Canada. It was 2 from the 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And Scotland were unfortunate that they had to get Canada in the semi-finals.
And if anybody hasn't seen it, well, first of all, sorry for spoiling the score without pre-warning, but yep. But secondly, go back and have a look at 7th end, I think it was, when Canada lifted their 3.
Yes, a couple of good run backs are here.
Yeah, unbelievable run backs. The first one's an absolute peach, and the second one's just as precise as you'd like it. So yeah, we were unfortunate to come up against Gushu absolutely firing, but some World Championships. So
Canadians always usually come strong at the business end of the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
All the best to Bruce and the boys in the bronze medal game, which I think, understand, is at 8 o'clock tonight.
8 o'clock tonight, yeah, so a bit more sociable.
Yes. And also
if I can stay awake for that.
I also think BBC are showing itself
yeah, I heard that actually, yeah. I think the BBC committed to showing the medal game regardless of which one it was. So
I think it's online.
I presume Red Button, and of course you can get them online on YouTube anyway at the moment. So, and the bonus for everybody watching, will be finished by then, so there's no clash. So that's good.
Blue line shot just behind tee. Expect the Kyle and Brown combination to put one right on top of that.
Yeah, I would say so. In a fairly standard mixed doubles end, race to the middle, which is exactly what you would expect, as I say, fairly standard. It's quite a novel experience, sort of listening to other people doing the commentary. I thought there was some quite interesting points raised on Friday about when to take power plays and when not to take them, how to play that. So we'll maybe touch on the tactics as we go through as well. Whether you take a power play aggressively in the first end, try and get on top, or whether you save it defensively for the second part of the game.
So obviously you've been listening on Friday to see whether
I was watching to make sure they did it right, and they did a great job. It's going to catch the guard. She's going to buy the rings though, is it?
Yes, it's spinning in there.
Well, with last stone, it's not the worst place it could have landed. Chipped the centre guard away, landed in the rings.
It actually made it just about impossible for Ross to draw through there.
Ross can't hit with this now though, so he might be tempted to move some stones away. This is where I find it quite fascinating. It's essentially the sub-skip's second stone. I think in a traditional game of curling, we would see people trying to move stones about here, albeit with 2 sweepers. That's maybe the difference.
I don't think he really has a draw, because I think that blue that's spun across there is possibly just right in his path. but you don't have last stone, so you don't want to leave too many yellows lying around there.
No, I think keep it tidy. Ross choosing to sweep out his hand. This is just over swinging a wee touch, is it? It is. Catches the blue on the centre line. Spins the black, blue out. The yellow does go as well, though.
I think he had a wee double there, was he?
Straight. I think that's exactly what he was looking for, yeah. Which leaves you and Kyle with a similar shot. However, I'm not entirely convinced you and Kyle's currently on the ice. So we have 4 players on the sheet again. If he hangs about, it's not bad.
She's not planning to hang around, but I don't think it's going to get happen out.
No, just burrows back in as well. So in need of a good one here, just to make sure they don't lose a big end. There is the guard there to come round, or he could take on a hit and roll, perhaps. The problem with the hit and roll is he's probably not going to be lying shot, but it is a safer option.
Could he go right the whole way to the house here?
Yeah, he could, to be fair.
I think the angle's there for that double.
Still a couple of stones to come each in this end. So
Ross, I think, definitely taking on the hit, whether it's a long double or just a hit and roll.
I think the way the house is spread, he kind of has to do that now.
But he will be rolling in the direction of that yellow stone that's hanging on at the other side of the 12 foot.
He's close to this. I don't think it was a double he was going for, but he's made it nonetheless, and the yellow is out, so pretty good result.
I think that's a good question for the interview at the end of the game. Is that the planned shot at the second end? Well, we just about guessed the answer, David. Knowing Ross.
Absolutely it was. Yeah, I think it's. I have to admit, if it's a big if, but if the interviews work at the end of this game, I think they could be quite good.
Yeah,
could be quite a good one to start it with.
I heard the young boys, some of the juniors, doing the interviews on Friday, and they were very good.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I think it was coming over better for the players that probably had done interviews in the past. The one that just quite so nervous. Quite a few of them were a wee bit nervous. You're going to face some of our young juniors. Then maybe understand why. But no, the boys did a good job.
I'll just keep trying to add to our webcasting.
You and Kyle going here for a double takeout. Lie 2 shots.
It's fairly close.
It just shows how an end can change also quickly. The yellows looked quite strong there, lying 3 good stones with the blue, just one shot for Ross White.
And away it goes.
Completely.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever happens here, Naomi Brown will have a shot with her last stone to take a 1 at this end. She might even have a draw for a 2.
Yeah, she could well do. If Ross isn't careful, she'll have a hit for a 3 anyway. I think that winger is still in, so he's got to be a wee bit careful here. She might be playing without a sweeper though. There's a bit of a sit-down protest going on there.
This looks like it could be.
This is coming right off it. This is on the blue already. And it's rolling so bad. Now has that blue just bit in time?
My prediction is yellow line 2.
I think so as well. I think they've just looked at that and moved away, so great chance for a 3 here. Just moved on them a little bit, that one.
Yeah, very good. Down weight. Perhaps take a wee bit more ice. Can afford to be. Even hitting it in the nose was good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just had to stick around with the shooter, really. Can you see out the window to the other scores, Kenny? Or is that pushing the eyesight this morning?
On rank B, it's a 1 to the blue team. The first end.
It's nicely drawn in there for a 3. I'll say 3. No, it could be measuring here. Nope, stone's kicked away. I'm calling that a 3.
On rank D, Bryson McMillan have picked up a 1 at the first end and a 2 at the second end. They lead 3-0 after 2. And on rank E, we've had 2 big scores. Both teams have picked up 4s. Smith and Kinnear at the first end, and Craig and Davey at the second end. So it's 4-4 after 2 ends of that game.
So basically we're watching the wrong game.
In our featured game, it's 3-1 to Kyle and Brown.
Nice end there, so something slightly different for mixed doubles. That centre guard just being spilled really did change the end there. So.
Both teams had chances.
Yes.
Ross played a really good stone and changed the end completely. You and Kyle played a good stone, and unfortunately Sophie's last stone just probably drew too much on them and took out her own stone and gave the Naomi Brown a easy draw to the anywhere in the house, actually. Anywhere in 12 foot, really, for a 3.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's nailed the first draw this end as well.
I think both teams are playing the same combination. Female playing the first and fifth stone, and the boys playing the middle 3.
Yeah, it's quite interesting listening to Ross when he was on the web commentary just explain why they do that. Basically to bail themselves out of trouble.
combination.
Yeah, it seems to work for them. As you say, current reigning champions.
Yes. Held up at Bury Head last year.
There is no World Championships for this.
No,
at the moment.
The winners don't go anywhere.
You would think that would change going forward, given it's an Olympic discipline now.
I would think within the next few years there will be a junior mixed doubles world championship.
Makes sense. There's certainly a seniors, if you like, in the non-senior sense of it. There's a mixed doubles world championship. Of course, we hosted that here in 2014, a few years ago now. 4 years ago.
Doesn't seem all that long ago, but.
I did notice the World Curling Federation have unveiled a World Cup of curling, 4 events, two in Asia, China, I think, 1 in Europe, 1 in North America.
Right.
And the graphics are very much dark background and green and purple around it. Yeah, I think
we've got a fee for using our colours.
Well, I was actually. We'll need to flash it up on screen later and just show you, because there's. I'll see if I can, for the semi-final. I'll see if we can get the poster that they've put up and the banners that are hanging up at the back of the ice rink. We'll see if we can get one of the cameras trained on them. Because yeah, it's.
I'll just put one right on the button here.
Down nicely to that pocket. I think there is room to get on top of it, however.
Yeah, I think you can move the stone that's just been played possibly back an inch and lie shot on the button.
Just before this stone comes down, if anybody has seen the new logos, that's one Dumfries has had for 4 years now.
Yes,
so just before we...
Ian Kyle playing a stone here. Just trying to draw right on top of the blues. Trying the big run back here.
Not sure if you can see an edge of that yellow on the centre line. He might be able to squeeze it out over the top.
Get the other one. Maybe move the other one at the same time.
You could move all 3 yellows if that's on.
Possibly that's the shot he's playing, but be quite happy. Clear the guard.
Play the guard or nose the outside yellow. I think is okay as well. So a few options for him here. I think the problem with taking the guard off is that Ian Kyle's just going to put one straight back on top of the in the house at that stage, and that yellow's then going nowhere for the rest of the ends. So I think he'll be looking to take the side one away rather than the guard. Might be wrong.
Nice, Sophie was indicating there. I don't think he's playing just top weight.
I think maybe looking to get a bit tighter than that. I think. Just right on top of this yellow would be that's my initial call anyway.
Even just moving the yellow back in the pocket. Good line.
I think moving it back is quite good because Ross will be able to come off that blue shoot to his left there. pop that yellow sideways as we look at it.
Do you take the blue away here then?
Yeah, I was just thinking that actually. Take the blue away and just run everything out the side. By running it into that back yellow might just spill a couple of blues out fairly safely as well. These guys are just so good with their drop weight, though. They can just they've just got such a high degree of confidence of where it's going to land. So I think that's the interesting thing about mixed doubles. It's so aggressive. And it's been, I think we're starting to see that spill out into the traditional game now as well.
Yes, I think you tend to get notice it when you're watching some of the mixed doubles players that have played mixed doubles.
Yeah, Bruce Mowat being the obvious one just
now. Obvious
now.
when I was thinking along the same lines.
I don't know if anybody has asked him, but his tactics and play must have changed over the last few years playing so much mixed doubles.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, it's a good stone. This is still on, but that yellow's not coming out sideways anymore. Famous last words, but I don't think it is, unless he gets this blue really, really thin. It might spin back up over the top.
I think we can be assured here that it's not lacking weight. Ross will just be trying to get just a feather in the blue. It's not hanging around anyway.
He does get all three yellows moving.
Lies 2 shots now.
Lies 2. So there is a hit back here. Could take the double. And the nose of that blue takes both of them out. Just high of nose maybe.
Lighter shots.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Last stone.
It's just a wee bit high, I think, at the moment. Could go over the top though. No, sticks the one. Does move the second blue back far enough that it's third shot now.
Basically, I draw to the button for a 2.
Yeah, that's my first reaction. I don't think there's anything else. I think any kind of hit on them yellows, the yellows going back into the pocket of the blues. So yeah, that's. Not convinced it does the second part of that. I think it'll do the first part.
What you could do probably, David, is the front yellow off lose their own blue. Early in the game, I don't think they can. Do you not just go for the safety shot to 2, draw for the 2?
Yeah, that would be my 3-1 down as well. You don't really want to go 4-1 down.
You can see the shot that Ross and Sophie were looking at. I think the angles are just not quite perfect. I would have thought with Ross has went to the far end, I would think to sweep a draw stone.
No, it's a hit. It's a hit. You see it coming down there. It was close. They called it. They did call it. What do we think then?
Possibly 4 blue. See the yellow's beating the blue there.
I think we'll have to wait for the scoreboard to go up for that one.
Yes.
No
umpire required, but we just don't quite have the exact angles. And looking out the window, it was a 2, David.
It was a 2.
Yes, definitely.
2 blue.
2 blue. So all that moving of stones there, and the easy shot was just the drop of the 2.
Define easy. Catch a piece of the bottom, yeah.
But I don't think she actually didn't need to move the yellow stones much further, and she probably could have picked up a 4. Stone here, played by Sophie Jackson at the 4th end. Coming into the house now. And that's just to go a wee gentle sweep just to keep it clean. Mackenzie and McFadden are leading 3-2 after 3 ends. On rink D, Karen and Davis have picked up a 4 at the 3rd end to lead 4-3. And in the high scoring game, Craig and Davey have picked up a 2 at the 3rd end. Lead 6-4. So all the games fairly close. The one we're watching this morning, tied up at 3-all after 3 ends.
A nice stone there just to knock the blue back into the back 12. Control of the forefoot. One just stayed a little bit high.
Just a couple of yards heavy. Just didn't finish.
Tight on that one, takes the centre guard off. Again, that's last stone. I don't. Something not what was called for, but no disaster either, I don't think.
No, especially when you've got last stone. Put stones in the house, you can possibly make a shot to get more as one. Ross just taking on a hit here. Glide 2.
This is close to the double.
A very good result there. Yes. It showed down there. I think if you bring that blue over the top, you're just about probably going to the yellow.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's not easy to take the back one here without going very thin on the top blue. So you don't really need to take the back one, to be fair, because that's sitting 4th shot. So. Called that, Kenny, didn't you?
Just the angles need to be correct for where that blue stone was going.
Yeah, it did.
Quite an open end now. Basically, last stone is the whole house available.
Yeah, and again, quite, I suppose, unlike mixed doubles, but that centre guard being shifted just changes the whole end around. Converts it back to a more traditional setup.
Basically, we think this is just like the pairs, playing pairs now.
It is. You've got as far as Ross is basically looking to spread the house and force the one now. I suppose there's no guards really in place. So.
Exactly what he done. Jackson and White now line 3 blue stones.
To make a hit and roll across, freeze in front of that blue on the wings.
There'll be a double on, I don't think triple's on.
If it's on, it's automatic. He'll not be too worried about that. He's really looking to keep his shooter here, I think, would be the main priority. You don't see many blank. We could be on for a blank end if he makes a double here, though. You don't see many blank ends in mixed doubles.
Am I correct in saying the hammer turns over, not blank end?
Now that rings a bell.
I did hear that the other day.
That does ring a bell. You just don't see it very often,
no.
So. But I think you might be right on that. Unless they did away with that rule when they brought the power play in. Kyle not the only one out watching the curling last night by the look of it. Just rested.
I suppose it has been quite a tiring weekend for the players because they've had 5 games up to now. A possibility of 3 today.
Yeah, they'll both be looking for 3. Win this one and you get 3 games. I think there is a 3rd, 4th playoff,
yes,
isn't there?
I did see that in the schedule.
Obviously the game that every player wants to be playing in.
No. No, when you lose the semi-final, sometimes the best thing is just to say
split the thirds.
Split prize, or we'll just forget about 3rd place. But I'm sure there is a 3rd and 4th playoff today. In fact, they're wearing Korean jerseys.
Are there time zones out or something? Or? So this one's starting to swing. Ross trying to encourage it with the swoop in. Plays it well though, misses the back blue.
So this will be the last stone here at the fourth end. So it's basically a Southwest Day derby this morning, Dumfries against Dunra.
It is really, yeah. Dumfries on home ice.
Yes, and again Ewan played with Ross in the recent World Juniors up in Aberdeen.
Yeah, he did.
When they got a silver medal.
Sophie played in the same Worlds as fifth, didn't she? She went as fifth.
Yeah, Sophie was fifth player for the Scottish team up in Aberdeen, and a lot belong back from Canada, where she was fifth player for Hannah Fleming's team.
Of course.
Quite good hit for a one. So the Kyle and Brown combination pick up a one at the fourth end and take a 4-3 lead after 4 ends.
Okay, so into the second half of the game.
Naomi Brown leading off here. First stone at the fifth end.
Good save from you and Kyle there. That was nearly. Two good yellow stones in there. David at the fifth end. Yeah, they switched to a different camera angle just to see how deep they have gone. I think they are just about the tee line. Yeah, they are.
Right on tee.
Ross can hit with this. You can hit with the fourth played stone at the end.
So just quarter stone, possibly. Double takeout.
I don't think there's any way of missing that back blue, is there? It's that second yellow is always going to drag onto the blue with the angle that they'll be hitting it at.
possibly can only see it'd be quite tight by the guard to get the inside.
Need it to swing a little bit. I think he's just going for the nose now, Kenny. I don't think they're fussed about much more than that. 2 yellows stick.
Totally convinced that's what he was planning.
No, I think he was looking at the way they were sweeping that. They were trying to sweep that across the line. So I think he was looking to keep his shooter just biting the top of the forefoot there. And give you and Kyle and Naomi Brown a bit of a problem of how to get rid of it, but they don't have to worry about getting rid of blues now.
Put one right out, right? Your either hand, either side, and
Either side, top of the forefoot, I think. We've just got to be a wee bit careful though, because I think there is a double on these yellows. Maybe misses the blue, but again the camera angle's just short, just flatten that angle a little touch. Swinging around nicely, but I think it's just going to come a little bit deep. Needs to sit. Yeah, it's not bad there. Maybe overswung a wee touch.
possibly the exact same stone as he's played the last.
I think he can see enough. I don't think it jams the back blue. I think it's always going under the back blue.
A nice back weight here. Barrier weight,
Rather than rocket weight.
I think this has been indicated. I think he's playing a draw.
I think so. I think he's just going to play a wee tap back.
Goes that way, you've got all the yellow stones are then behind T.
Looks to be hanging high, but there is a big swing at the end. Yeah, switch sweeping. Decide which way they want it, so it must be fairly close. Just pokes that through the hole. So blue line first shot. Yellow's line second, third, blue's fourth. Blue on the right hand side, fourth shot, I think.
Quarters of the shot stone has just been played. Just flop over onto the button.
Yeah, I think so. Just prod that blue through the gap between the right hand side blue and the yellow.
I don't think it would be too heavy either. Just same way as Ross was playing there. Just move them as stones around.
It just leaves a wee catcher as well again. So difficult to get that blue out of there if it's or difficult to get a shooter out here. Sorry, and he's yellow.
Playing roughly the same way as what Ross played with the previous stone.
Looks pretty good. Needs to swing an inch, but it's pretty good. Just catches the yellow. She's got to be careful now. I suspect after the next stone there'll be a lot of blues hanging about.
Ross has got to take, the only way you can take this take the stone out of play is actually to hit it the outside. Anyone on the inside is going into his blues.
So it's really easy to get dragged in trying to get a big end and actually lose focus on what you're aiming to achieve out at the end. I suppose he's really looking to manufacture his two here. So
I think I did see them indicating possibly just on the nose, just to take it out through the back. And it would be a bonus if you got that back yellow.
yeah, I think so. So stones away. That's a great shot. In behind the guard. There is swing though on this ice, so I think he can still get to it. Won't be easy. Want to give the Motley crew a wee shout out, Kenny?
Oh yes, there's Chief Umpire there, John McGowan, and Arwen Jim Hogg, who's assisting this weekend, along with Hazel Wales and Ian Jimison. I think everybody's been up to watch the curling during the night. Do people showing a bit of tiredness round about the ice bowl this morning?
There is a little bit. I'm fine. It's just it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so come final time, I'll be gulped.
You've now moved on to American time. That's the unfortunate thing. Even if Scotland had got to the final tonight, I don't think it would start at least midnight.
Yeah, it was another late one. Just hairs by that top blue.
Nice shot now. Just the last stone coming up there.
That's what the graphic says.
Yes. I'm just going with the way Ross was indicating it. It looks as if it was Sophie was going to be playing.
It's back 4 draw for 2. Just tap the yellow back slightly.
If she overdraws, she might. If she's just that kind of weight, she might actually get a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Their own blue.
Yeah.
Actually, quite surprised. I don't know.
I think they might actually come off the out turn and just tap the blue back.
That's the one that was just looking at when we looked at from this side, but it was the other side they were actually looking at. It's the other side that played, I think.
Well, they're trying to come in off the winger, actually. That's what they're trying to do. It's a steal of 1 yellow. So 5-3 after 5 ends. I think we'll see a power play here, Kenny. That would be my guess.
And you've got to be win the end to take the power play. Right?
No, you have to have hammer to take the power play.
Right.
So I think Ross and Sophie with hammer will look to take the power play here.
Good call, David. Good call. You're not sleeping yet.
It's 50-50, wasn't it? So. So what do you do with the first stone here then, Kenny? Do you chip the guard, do you put a centre guard up, or do you try and freeze the winger? Talk through it logically. If I'm playing yellow here and 5-3 up, I think there's I might be wrong, but well, I probably am wrong. I think there's a certain amount of logic of actually just sticking one on the forefoot to try and cut the scoring area down a little bit, or stick it on the centre line somewhere. I think they've gone the tick, and that's probably the cardinal sin to try the tick and not make it. You certainly want your shooter out of the equation.
This is basically now David is out into this like a normal game.
Yeah, I think it is, and they've effectively ended up with that centre line shot. So I expect Ross to make full use of this corner and try and stuff another one round that corner guard.
I think you can probably see that the blue that's sitting in the centre line. Oh, sorry, T line.
Yeah, he might do. It's just whether there's ice to actually take it out there. The other scores up on screen for you.
Sheet E that's only still on their fifth end.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on that. It looks like another one. I think that's now 8-4. I'm going to call it 8-4 anyway. I'm going to call it 8-4, then take it off the screen so nobody can pick us up on it.
Well, it's confirmed.
And that 8 what was required. Just to answer your question, Kenny, that's what you can see of the blue.
Well, enough just to play back their weight, but as you said, David, will the ice swing that wee bit? Just
I think it will out there. I think it will swing out to in. It's almost one of them you could actually throw it if it was playing like it was on the point. You could almost throw it on a right-hander's in turn and let it fall back into it. It's good ice for mixed doubles.
not just quite enough weight there.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he maybe played it at that weight to give himself a second option. Ross maybe doesn't think that.
Yellow's live 2 now. No, just still 1.
Yeah, just the 1, I think. Slightly closer up picture.
And he did call the score correct on sheet E. It was a 1.
Happy days.
Back right weight, I think, yeah. Trying to draw the back yellow.
Okay, just a risk over swinging this one. There is draw out to in, into out rather. I think if you're playing yellows here, it's just keep the end safe, isn't it? Take the blue that's sitting short out, roll somewhere that can't be frozen to. I think even a roll out's probably not ideal because of the second blue that's in there, but I don't think it'll swing much from there though. If it's it has, I think you're right. If the shooter's just going to hang about, isn't it? So not. line 3 against by the time he comes to play the next stone.
But not an easy shot, your last stone. But you could split your front yellow.
Yep.
Because I don't think you need to split it too much. Foot and roll in, and you could play 2 good shots that no double on possible.
Yeah, you could, and that's probably the risk of I think what they're looking to play here is just to nudge this blue back and take the shot, or the second shot, yellow out of the equation. But the risk is you take your own shot away.
Also, you just about possibly play either hit a stick on the front yellow. If you get it on the left hand side, you might get the double.
Yeah, you could do that. Would just leave you in a hit back for a 2 though. That would be the downside to that. Give him a straightforward hit for a 2. So we're looking to put the pressure on and leave him a double. He's played it really well. Gets it roll. Is he going to bite? I don't think it's bit quite enough. Not matter greatly anyway. A hit and roll off the shot stone. Got to stick around with this one though.
I think you can afford to be slightly wide here. Sorry, tight, because you can always come out off your own blue stone.
Yep.
Off the other blue stone.
Off the other blue, yeah. You certainly don't want to be on the inside. Looking not bad. Could do with it just to swing another little bit. Great shot. Really well played. Run back for 3.
I thought so.
Or a draw to take your 1. Can't really afford to go 3 down the way the game's going. It is mixed doubles, there's plenty of chances, but
you could play this just back 4 weight and make sure you're round the guard, and if it's coming round the guard, 3 feet you possibly, get your 2 that way.
Yeah, maybe. You need to be back 12 weight.
I think
there is swing to play it that way.
Yeah, I think they've got to get the 1. Guarantee get the 1 here. I don't think they can take 1 there. Playing the run back.
That looks tight. It is tight. Commentator's eye. Well played.
Great story there by Sophie Jackson to pick up a 3.
Score a 3.
Well played stone, and also well swept by Ross, I think.
Yeah, very well played. Joined by Ross's now claimed coach.
stone here at the 7th end. Just slightly heavy. Just back 4 foot weight.
It's been a feature of the game. I presume it's not deliberate. I think they are trying to keep control of the top of the 4 foot, but quite a few of the first stones have just drifted.
Just that
and bumped
a couple of feet.
Yeah. I certainly don't want to be short, so they are probably erring on that side. So good use of the power play from Ross and Sophie there.
Yes, great shot by Sophie. Well swept by Ross.
I think that's the. I mean, I have to say when I've played mixed doubles, we always struggle to score, but you have to have that ability to lift a long double or a double at some point in the end.
This stone of Naomi Brown just over curling. I think Ross will be wanting to swing one right round in there, right into the gap.
Just on power plays, given you have to take it with the hammer, I would have, if they were going to play it, I would have expected Ewan and Naomi to have played it this end.
Yes.
So I'm a little surprised to see we're down the middle. But, I'm sure there is a
valid reason.
Oh, absolutely, there always is. That's fairly welded in there now.
Yeah, good shot by Ross. Just have to go off the other hand now, just to nudge the blue back to the blue that's sitting behind it. So on the other hand, I don't think it's going anywhere, it's just going straight at the yellow.
Yeah, you've got to start moving this about a little bit now. The other option is to give you're one down. This is the problem. If the last end had been a 2, fair enough, lock it in, give away a 1, take the power play down the last to win the game. You wouldn't want to guarantee getting a 3 with the power play. It's very possible though, so they may see 2 down as not too bad a result.
No. Well, there's Peel's been down the last without stone.
Yeah, although again mixed doubles, it's arguably get that first stone right, and it's not too bad to steal.
Draw around there. Blue still lie shot.
We don't almost guarantee they do. Ross just looking to sling one right on top of this. I'm not quite sure if he's aiming for the corner of the yellow or right onto the face of the blue perhaps.
6-3 quarters on the yellows. It looks good.
Even the face of the yellow is not that bad. It stops any kind of slash across. You and Kyle waving at us. That's a pretty nice result, isn't it?
Aye.
There is still the slash sideways, but it's tight now.
Well, you're taking yellows with it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You can still draw right onto the button off.
I think it's probably something they're going to have to start looking at, is just making sure.
Only lose one.
Yeah,
Maximum one anyway.
I think I would favour losing a 1 rather than taking a 1 here, I have to admit, but neither's particularly appealing.
Well, if you lose one, you can't then play your power play.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. I think that was as close to the guard as you'd want to get.
There's 2 blue in there. No.
Just the 1 blue. There's a path out for it now, though. At the moment. At the moment.
I think you might see Ross just come and swing round here and move the blue back. Or maybe.
I don't think I'd look to move it. I think I would just look to sit in the pocket or even onto the nose of the yellow. Just make it as difficult as possible. I think it's a lot of this is about reducing the scoring area for the 2, isn't it now? So
You could actually just bring the yellow 2 or 3 inches, so it's no way out for this blue to come through that gap between the 2 yellows.
yeah, there is that. Yep.
You still leave the blue line shot.
I think he's maybe just looking to take both yellows out here. Apologies to Ross in advance, because he'll know better than I do. I'd love to know the reasoning for playing that rather than just slinging one in on top and almost forcing the 1, cutting the scoring down again. But definitely possible to get a 2 out of this end now. Not easily, it's still not easy.
Will the blue go anywhere?
I don't think, not in this shot. But if they can come to the
here just to move the stones around,
come to the nose. And just move the yellow back off it 2 or 3 feet. Move it to the back 8.
Back 8, yeah.
I can see the logic of tidying the yellows up, to be fair.
I think he was just possibly slightly on the tight side, or you had to get it out.
This looks fairly good. The weight's just about perfect. Absolutely perfect. Again, all of a sudden, if they're not careful, there's a 3 on now.
Yeah. Possibly just have to move the blue black slightly here to the nose.
Yeah, tap it to the 1 on the back of the 4-foot.
That would be the safeguard. Probably get a wee shot. Probably get a wee chance to drop it too.
But again, if I'm Ross at the moment, I'm not. Lose the 2. You've got last stone. It's not an open game, but I'd be less concerned. Here it comes. I think they're just trying to get with Sophie's last stone here. And they're going to roll off. Oh, it's the double on now. Oh, it is. Definitely is.
Actually correct the shape of that's actually just to move the blue to the...
Yeah, I think that's what they were looking at. I think you maybe just off mic there, Kenny, you made a call of maybe a guard on the left hand side. Very much hindsight now, but yeah, possibly.
Easy to say that now.
It's easy to say it's sitting up here full stop, isn't it? But
true. Last stone here at the 7th end. Naomi Brown, a double take out for pick up of 3.
It's not far away.
I think she got a 2.
Not quick enough for the camera, sorry.
I think it was 2. She just didn't get outside one. You just got too much hit and didn't get enough.
Needed to swing another half inch. Yep.
Find out too short now, Sophie. We'll put the score up. 2.
Called it well, Kenny. So of course, no power play. Scores on the screen there. There's no real runaway games. Maybe Sheeby's probably the furthest clear, but there's a power play in action on that sheet just now anyway. So
still all play for in all 4 games. We got a semi-final lined up.
Runs off the side of that. It's a great chance here for you and Kyle to get one down into the 4 foot and cause real problems now.
Right onto the
yeah, again, just a traditional game of curling. Really, it's you're trying to steal. You've got a guard, you've got one at the back of the 4 foot which has backing, and you're on to high skip stones. So I suppose the only query is, do you put another centre line guard up, or do you swing right round it? But swing right round it will be the call, I suspect.
I think we had our first result. You see stones coming up on ring D. David, and it's a 10-5 victory for Kieran and Davis over Bryce and Mullen.
We'll leave these scores on until the end. I think they're doing no harm up there at the moment. every game's 8 ends, so they don't change to finished, unfortunately. So after 8's as good as we do.
Well, because that's the maximum we can play anyway.
In theory, certainly at 10-5 it is anyway. So
go for an extra end.
So a yellow in play there. It's maybe just slipped a little bit deep. Gives Ross a chance to come down. Maybe a bit surprised I'm not taking the guard off, Kenny.
One good stone in there. Let's move the yellows off that blue now. I think, was that what Ross was trying to do with? Blue line 1, I don't think the yellow that's just been played there by you and Kyle is going anywhere. Around the other side.
I really like taking the centre guard off.
Have you connected up to Ross and Sophie here? Is that exactly what they're going to do?
Saw them making the move out to I'm just take the centre guard off. What's Ewan going to do? He's got to move that blue at some point. They've only got 2 stones left to do that with, so he's going to have to do it in his next stone realistically. The blue's going into the yellow. If you do it any kind of weight, there's a chance a lot of yellows scatter out. So no, I think you take the centre guard off. You don't want to stick it though. Not what they would have been looking for. Just 1 yellow in line at the moment. Just about make that out. For some reason, I've put the camera very centre over this sheet, have they?
No. But to be fair, he was quite rushed just to get the camera in place once we decided what game we were going to play this morning.
It's almost like cutting the ice was a better priority or something.
Yeah.
So what we're going to try and do at the end of this game is whoever wins it, we're going to try and get across for a very quick interview. I'm not sure it'll work, but we'll have a go.
Fingers crossed.
If not, we're just going off air very quickly. Good news is I can see everybody standing down there ready to do it, so that's a wee bonus. Let's see if the technology holds up. This needs to take a seat. That's done. I think that puts Ross and Sophie in a world of trouble. Brad Gushu run back.
I think it's indicated.
So he's got the draws to the bottom for his 1, to be fair.
I suppose that is, if he takes this off, isn't he? Quite right, he is opening up that.
You've got 2 options here, isn't it? It's he can run this blue across into the house and take the 2. Yeah, I mean both yellows goes if he makes contact with that, or he can take both guards off. as a secondary option, but we'll certainly want to be on the high side of this blue, not anywhere near nose. And nose it was. So I think you and Kyle will come round the other side. Top 8. Top 8, top 4, yeah. Put the brushing down there. And that being the case, I think Ross will need a helicopter to get the stone in there.
I don't think she really needs to be in the house there.
I think I'd want to be in the house just to be on the safe side. But yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't need shot, but there is a big swing on the ice. So if you're not in the house and it comes quite tight to that blue.
Yeah, I was meaning more just edge of 12 foot.
Edge of the right hand side of the tri-curling logo, just where Ewan is there. Somewhere, anywhere down that line. It's pretty good.
Probably can actually leave a gap, attempting to go through even.
The only reason I'd want to be in the 12 foot, 8 foot is just to get a wee bit tighter so you can block off the race. Whereas if you're blocking the draw and you're in the guard zone, you're probably leaving the blue as a race.
The same shot as Stross just played the other hour.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you're into the 8 foot, you can pretty much you can almost swing in behind the blue and block off the guard that way. So I think I'd be looking level with the top yellow in the house and second shot in behind the blue guard.
Proper safe guard.
Yep. And I think at that it's game, set and match. I just don't see a shot for Ross if they make this one. But it's heavy, so there is going to be a draw for Sophie, I should say. Maybe just don't fancy the draw.
Doesn't it look as if they're going to play the draw? Just looking at other options.
I mean, a triple run back's for the win.
Draw for wins for the next round. Without hammer.
They're going for the blue, you know. That is there. It's tight though. It's really tight. And we said at with Ross's last shot it was there, so it'll still be there.
Stone here at the 8th end. Sophie Jackson playing a run back on the blue to take 2 yellows out of the house. Probably win the game with this shot. Comes off.
It's win or bust, isn't it?
I think so.
There's no in-betweens with this one. It's not far away. Oh, just scrapes the second guard.
So there we are. We have our second result here in the Scottish Mixed Doubles Junior. The game we're covering this morning. Ewan Kyle and Naomi Brown are through to the semi-finals, having beaten Ross White and Sophie Jackson.
So if you stay with us, I believe somebody has just gone to get Ewan and Naomi to do a quick interview. And here they come. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, morning. Congratulations. Did you enjoy your game then?
We played really well from the beginning. We took our chances when we needed to, and I think that the way the ice is, it's really good for mixed doubles. Swingy. So.
I'm pleased to hear that. What about yourself? How did you get on?
Yeah, we got off to a pretty good start. I mean, we always knew it was going to be a tough game against Ross and Sophie. They played this game for a bit longer than what we have, but we got off to a good start, so we did. We played really well. I mean, both teams missed shots, but we just made them at the right time, and I think that's what really made it, to be honest. So.
Was there any particular time during the game where you said to yourself, things aren't going so well, or we're really coming strong here?
I can't really remember particularly, but I do know that there was a couple of times. There was one time when they played their power play, and we had to decide what we wanted to do because we were pretty new to mixed doubles, and we're not quite sure of the right thing to do when someone else plays their power play. So we just kind of mixed it up and chose different shots, and it didn't really work out for us. But so that's kind of what was difficult. But then we came back and got a 2, and we were right back in it.
Well done. And for the future, do you think that you'll be taking on mixed doubles more competitions or not?
I'll not lie, I don't even think Naomi could deal with me for more competitions than 2 a year, but it is nice to get to play in a different format, so it is from normal. So I mean, it makes a pleasant change, and I think Naomi enjoys playing with me. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been really good fun, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter what happens. We enjoy ourselves when we play it, and that's the main thing. So we're enjoying it, so it's good.
Listen, thank you very much. All the best with your next game. Cheers. Thank you.
So thank you to you and Naomi for doing that quick interview there. Hopefully rounds off the game quite nicely. And we will be back at 12 o'clock for the semi-final.
Semi-final.
See you then.